Well, let's hear from one of those Labour MPs now, shall we, who's defied the party's leadership tonight to back a ceasefire in Gaza. The former Shadow Minister for Crime Reduction, Naz Shah, joins us now. Naz, just explain why you voted in the way you did.
Hi, evening. So I voted because I've listened to people, NGOs on the ground, who have made it really, really clear that they are unable to deliver humanitarian aid without an actual ceasefire. So the pause, the humanitarian pause that people are talking about would not work, and that is clear evidence from the ground, which is why I supported a ceasefire.
Has Hamas agreed to a ceasefire?
From my understanding, Israel nor Hamas have. And we have to create the conditions. We have to make sure we're working towards the conditions for that ceasefire, but that is about calling for a ceasefire.
It's not really something that's going to have much of an impact, though, is it? I mean, they're not exactly going to just listen to what some MPs in the House of Commons have to say.
Well, the thing is, Sophie, we have to make our positions clear. We're in the opposition. We do not have the numbers to make legislation, but that does not stop us making sure that our voices for our constituents is heard here in this place. And the same applies when constituents feel very, very passionately about issues. They email our MPs and they ask you to make a judgment call, and that judgment call requires leadership. It requires, requires us to do something, and today that's what I did, as did many others.
Do you think Keir Starmer's got it wrong?
Well, Keir Starmer has, you can ask him whether he's got it wrong or not, but for me, what I did was I got it right for me. And history judges us, and there are moments like this, then we have to take a decision and we have to take a position, and that's what I did this evening, alongside many other MPs from the front bench as well as the Labour Party tonight.
Obviously, if Keir Starmer comes on the programme, I will ask him about whether he thinks he got it right or wrong, but what's your position then? It sounds like you do think the Labour leader has got it wrong on this.
I've just been having a nice chat with
Well, this place, our job in Parliament is to try and convince and use our platform to convince people and put the arguments forward, which is what I did in the chamber earlier. I referenced all those people that have asked for a ceasefire, including the Archbishop, the Pope, including the French President Macron. There are people. I'm not alone in calling for a ceasefire, and there's clearly a difference of opinion. But I choose to take the evidence, make that informed choice from what NGOs are saying, Save the Children, Medical Aid for Palestinian, Oxfam, all these people who are on the ground. And usually we would be led by what they are saying. So why are we not doing that on this occasion? I think, for me personally, that was a decision I had to take with the evidence available to me, and that is a call for an immediate ceasefire. And it's not about, in opposition, it's not whether Rishi Sunak is going to listen to me when I'm making the case for my constituents in Bradford West, but that does not stop me from making the case to do the right thing.
Do you think the Labour leader has fully grasped how many Labour voters, including in constituencies like your own, feel there should be a ceasefire?
I'm not sure if he has or he hasn't. He has a full team of people advising him. There's no doubt they'll be doing the number crunching. But I think if we look at the protests that have been happening, they are getting larger every single week. Our inboxes, we've had MPs who are saying 98% of their inboxes are full of the issue of a ceasefire, asking people to call for a ceasefire. I know my inbox has thousands of emails, and that is a case up and down the country, be it Labour MPs, be it SNP, be it Tory MPs. So this is an issue that the British public feel strongly about. More than 67% have called for a ceasefire. This is the larger British opinion out there in our constituencies up and down the country. So, that time will tell what happens. And ultimately, the bottom line is there will be a ceasefire. At some point, there will be a ceasefire. And as one of my colleagues put it in the chamber, had we called for a ceasefire yesterday, 144 children might still be alive. Whilst I've been waiting here in the lobby, another 2 children will have died. Those are the realities. Children are dying, a child every 10 minutes. Babies are dying in incubators because they have not got oxygen. Women are having cesareans without anaesthetic. I am a mother of 3. I could not vote any other way but to try whatever I can and raise my voice, even if it is to save one child from dying.